Hey guys, Pie Guy Rules here, and it is time to look at the winners of the Kids' Choice Awards. Now, I've got a few things to say before we get into this about my other two videos about the Kids' Choice Awards this year. The first one is that I got a lot of hate for the choices that I picked, which really isn't cool. It's a vote, guys. Like, I have an opinion, you have an opinion, everyone has an opinion. You know, we might get into fights over which show's the best show or whatever, but at the end of the day, no one's a bad voter. The only person that's a bad voter is if someone closes their eyes and picks at random. That's, in my opinion, that's the only way you can be a bad voter. You know? Or if you intentionally vote for something that's bad or something for ulterior motives or whatever. But no, I just voted for the stuff that I liked. I didn't vote for the stuff that I thought was going to win or the stuff that I thought that kids liked in general, just the stuff that I liked, you know? So I got a lot of hate for that, and I don't quite get it. You know, that's a little bit mean, guys. That being said, it's a really popular video, so even if you didn't enjoy my video, even if you think I'm stupid and have horrible voting tastes, thank you guys for watching. The other one is that, on my other review, a lot of you were like, you know, the Kid Choice Awards sucked because SpongeBob won. That's not what I was talking about. The only reason that anyone ever gave me on that video as to why the Kids' Choice Awards sucked or they didn't like it was because X thing didn't win. That's the only excuse, and you gotta look at it as a show because the winners, they were picked by you guys. You know, by us, by everyone. It's a vote, you know, unless the voting is rigged, then it was popular choice. I'll talk about that in a bit, but seriously, like, look at the show. Just did it put on an entertaining show? In my opinion, yes, aside from the Kesha stuff. Everything else was pretty entertaining. You know, they kept up the energy. There was the beginning performances were pretty good. And that's Christina Aguilera. I should have known that. That's not okay. They just shortened her name on Twitter. I'm stupid in that regard. But yeah, and that's another thing. A lot of you are hating on me for not knowing celebrities. It's like, look, I'm not big in music. I'm not big in sports. You know, when it comes to even, like, actors, there's a lot of actors out there. Excuse me for not knowing every single one. Anyway, guys, here are the winners. So, first, favorite TV show. Victorious one. I guess I was a little bit surprised. I don't know, I've just kind of been ignoring Victorious a bit. Like, I don't know. I guess when I think of Victorious, Victorious and iCarly I kind of see as like the same show, even though it's really not. Um, but I mean, I'm not that surprised. I'm a little bit surprised that Wizards of Waverly Place didn't win, but she won in other areas, so not that much of a surprise. And Victorious is a popular show, so you know, hey, good for them. Favorite reality show, Wipeout. That one that doesn't really surprise me because if you look at the other ones, it's all singing competitions, and then America's Got Talent, which is also kind of a singing competition. I've talked about this before, but Wipeout's the only one that's, like, you know, funny. I mean, the problem with Wipeout, in my opinion, is that it gets really old really fast. Like, you can't watch every week of Wipeout, in my opinion, because it gets the same thing over and over again. You know, it can only be so funny. But watching it every once in a while, it is really funny. Um, okay, so then we have favorite cartoon. This one was SpongeBob won. Okay, we all kind of knew that SpongeBob was gonna win just because SpongeBob wins almost every year. It didn't win the Avatar one year, but of course they just kind of showed that as a one-off thing before the commercial. Um, but yeah, SpongeBob won. I mean, you know, Tom and Jerry wasn't gonna win. You know, the Fairly Odd Parents probably wasn't gonna win. Phineas and Ferb probably wasn't gonna win. You know, SpongeBob SquarePants. The overlap between the kids that watch the Kids' Choice Awards and the kids that watch SpongeBob is probably really big. So it's not that much of a surprise. Yeah, it sucks, but if it's what the majority of kids like, then I guess who am I to say anything different? Favorite TV actor? I'm glad Lucas Cruikshank didn't win. That's really all I can say. I'm not entirely sure still who Ross Lynch is, but he looks like a fine chap. And he's not Lucas Cruikshank, so I'm happy. Favorite TV actress? Yeah, Selena Gomez won this one. It's funny because is that actually... Wait, looking at that... Yeah, it's the same four. It's the same four from these shows. They just took the same pictures. How lazy. Oh, wow. Like, they couldn't have gotten other people to be in these pictures. I guess they're the main characters. But even still, I mean, Could have gotten group shots. That would have been nice. That's a lot of people complained about, was the fact that in these pictures they didn't have like groups. It was just the one person always, except for Phineas and Ferb, I suppose. But and Tom and Jerry. But yeah, it's the same pictures. Yeah, nothing would really surprise me in this category. People really love Selena Gomez, so I guess I see it. She's gonna be in that new movie, that new like I think it's like R-rated or PG-13 or something, Spring Breakers. I think she's in that. I don't know. That's interesting. She's growing out of being a kid star. But yeah, and as far as I'm concerned, I don't know much about Bridget Mendler. But as far as I'm concerned, these three are pretty much the same three people. They're all actresses around the same age on cheesy shows that have ended. I think Victoria has ended. Or is going to end or something, that have ended, that have successful music careers and are trying to move on with their lives. Favorite male athlete, I don't really know any. I mean, I kind of know these people. I don't know. LeBron James was cool about his awards, so good for him. Let's see. Favorite female athlete, Danica Patrick. Honestly, she probably won because she's the prettiest of the bunch. They're all pretty, but Danica Patrick's like a model too or something. I don't know. She shows up in commercials. But yeah, I mean, hey, she's a good race car driver too, so who am I to complain? Favorite book, The Hunger Games. Not any surprise there. Considering it's the most relevant of the book series on there, and considering how popular it was, so not much of a complaint except for the category. Could have been. I guess it could have had more, but really, I mean, what book series do kids read much anymore? Unfortunately. I'm actually surprised the Twilight books aren't on there. I guess that skews a little bit older, but Magic Treehouse kind of skews younger anyway, so whatever. Favorite video game, Just Dance 4. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's the most recent game on here. Now, Skylanders Giants might be. Wii Sports wasn't going to win because it's an old game. It's just not relevant. Mario Kart 7 is still a little bit old, Mario Kart. And Just Dance 4, it's a type of game where everyone will play it. The guys, the girls, the parents, it's a good general game. I wouldn't say it's the best video game of this bunch objectively, but for the crowd that would vote for the Kids' Choice Awards, I would say, yeah, it's not a bad choice. And people were complaining that I was complaining about the voting category, like what was picked for these. No, that is a legitimate complaint, because if it's, some stuffy adult somewhere deciding in a room what product placement would be best for their award show, or, what would get them the best publicity or whatever, then that's wrong. That's bad too, because it's, Kids' Choice. You don't have much of a choice if your options are bad. Not that these games are bad particularly, but it just could have been a better selection. Favorite app, Temple Run 1. Not surprised, because Angry Birds and Fruit Ninja are a little bit on the older side, and Temple Run wasn't like the new fad. Minecraft, like I said, I love the game, but I don't think it's that great in app form, to be completely honest. If it were up for favorite video game, I would have voted for it, but as far as the portable version go, they've still got a ways to work on it. Let's see. Favorite movie, The Hunger Games. I guess I'm not that surprised. Yeah, kids love The Hunger Games. I mean, The Avengers was awesome. Diary of a Wimpy Kid. It doesn't fit on here. That's like a low budget, I guess it is a kids movie though, for what I can say. I'm pretty sure The Avengers was PG-13. I think The Hunger Games might have been PG-13, and Spider-Man might have even been PG-13. I don't know. Not that they're like horribly inappropriate for children or anything like that, but they skew a little bit older. You'd think they'd pick more things that are just PG, but then again, not many like kids movies come out much anymore that aren't like awful, or CGI. Favorite movie actor, Johnny Depp. Okay, I could see it. They're all pretty good actors up there. I mean, I didn't see The Amazing Spider-Man, so I can't really say for Andrew Garfield. But yeah, I mean, Johnny Depp, he is a brilliant actor. Like on a from a standpoint of a film critic and a film snob, I can say that Johnny Depp is incredibly versatile, which is one of the signs of a great actor. And that comes from probably him being a real eccentric in real life. Favorite movie actress, Kristen Stewart. Oh, I mean, I would have gone with Scarlett Johansson. I think that's who I voted for. I don't particularly remember. But Kristen Stewart. Like I said, she was really cool accepting the award, and honestly, I kind of like her as a person now. But she's not a good movie actress. Not in Twilight, at least. She just, I mean, it could have been the direction, but either way, I mean, it's an obvious choice of just the kids. The kids like Bella Swan, so they're gonna vote for Kristen Stewart. Or something. That's at least my opinion. That's what I think happened. Um, Favorite animated movie, Wreck-It Ralph. Yes. Just yes. That is the best one on there. Ice Age shouldn't be on there. Brave, you know what? You're a great movie, but unfortunately, Pixar, you didn't produce the best animated movie of the year that year. Wreck-It Ralph was an amazing movie. I definitely, I'm glad the kids think so too. Favorite voice from an animated movie? Yeah, I didn't much like the options here. Taylor Swift, no. Adam Sandler, I mean, he did good. He did a good impression, I guess, in that movie. It's just I don't know. I guess my bias is that was not a good movie. Okay, favorite female butt kicker, again, Kristen Stewart. Again, I would have picked Scarlett Johansson. Anne Hathaway, I guess they were nominating for her from Batman. But I feel like the third movie skewed older too, mostly just because of how long it was and how probably younger kids couldn't sit through it because, I couldn't sit through it, but that's a rant for another time. Kristen Stewart, yeah, I mean, and that's the other thing that bugs me too. It's like I've seen all of one of the Twilight movies. I think I've seen the second one. My ex dragged me to it, and Bella did nothing. She did not do any sort of kicking of the butt. They showed in the clip from like the latest movie that she apparently did something like fighting wise, but she's not an action girl. She's a heroine in distress, you could say. Favorite male butt kicker, Dwayne Johnson. Okay, I could see it. Yeah. I mean, the thing about Robert Downey Jr. is that he's in the Iron Man suit when he's kicking butt, so it's not really him, it's the special effects. You could say the same about Andrew Garfield. Chris Hemsworth was good in the Avengers, but that was, again, more special effects. Dwayne The Rock Johnson really looks like a guy who can kick the crap out of anyone. So, props to him. Favorite villain? Simon Cowell won. Oh, I think kids voted for it just because it's funny, and it is funny. It's silly, but you know what? It's funny. I still think Tom Hiddleston did a fantastic job in the Avengers, but you know what? Hey, why not? Simon Cowell. Okay. Favorite music group? Man, there was fighting in the comments. Big Time Rush or One Direction, or I don't know if Maroon 5 was represented, but yeah, the Rushers and the One Directioners, if that's what they're called, yeah, they were having a big brawl. Hey, at least Big Time Rush gets a group shot. One Direction just gets the one guy. Yeah, I mean, I would be surprised if One Direction or Big Time Rush didn't win. And for what it's worth, One Direction is popular with the kids, and at least it's like children friendly. Kesha. Favorite male singer? Justin Bieber. Yeah, not really much of a surprise there. He's the only one that's like in their demographic. Not that kids don't listen to or can't listen to the other three, but what I'm saying is that Justin Bieber is pretty much pandering right to the Kids' Choice Awards demographic. Favorite female singer? Katy Perry. Not much surprise there. Actually, I guess... Yeah, I feel like Adele and Pink skew a little bit older. Taylor Swift, maybe even so. I mean, the thing about Katy Perry has fun songs, and I guess that's, as a kid, you listen to songs that are just catchy and fun, and it's like, Adele's songs are catchy, but they're not that fun or energized. Katy Perry's got those songs. And then, speaking of songs, favorite song, this one... Okay, well, Taylor Swift's song was that again. It's not much Like, we are never getting back together. That is not, like, a song that kids would particularly find enjoyable, I would say. What Makes You Beautiful? Yeah, I could see it. I'm surprised Gangnam Style didn't win. Call Me Maybe. Call Me Maybe is a good song. I still stand by, but it was so overplayed that it's so old that nobody ever wants to hear the song again. So I'm not surprised that that one's out. Yeah, so not much of a surprise. So overall, not many surprises on my end. I don't think. I wonder, did anything that I picked won? I think. Let me see. I don't think anything that I picked actually won. Oh no, Wreck-It Ralph won. I may have picked Johnny Depp, or I think I picked Will Smith as my favorite movie actor. No, it doesn't look like anything that I picked won. Huh. Interesting. I mean, hey, I don't, I'm not under any false impressions that I represent the children's demographic here. I don't deal in what I think kids like. I deal in what I think makes up a good show. If kids like what I consider to be a bad show, then, well, the show's marketable at least, and I can't really fault kids for liking it if it's the popular opinion, so, or even if it's not the popular opinion. I'm not here to bash anyone's opinion. I just try to point out what the problems that shows have and why they're problems and that they should be fixed. Because even in good shows, there are problems, and if people don't exist to point them out and complain about them and whine about them like little internet nerds like me, then how are writers in the industry ever going to learn? How are they ever going to learn that a cartoon should be more than just something that you place your kids in front of to babysit them? Anyway, that's about it. So, yeah, well, there were nothing I really picked. There were also no surprises. If I were to pick what I thought kids were going to pick, it would probably be pretty close to this, to be honest. Although, like I said, with, like, favorite TV actress and show and stuff, I would consider them to be, like, a toss-up. I like a wild card. I wouldn't know, which one is more popular at the moment. But yeah, that's about it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you enjoyed this whole Kids' Choice Awards 2013 videos. I will definitely be commenting on them next year. And, just look at the show as a show. Ignore the results. Specifically, ignore the results. And if you look at it as a show, judge it on a show. And if you want to judge the results, well, you really only have yourself to blame, to be completely honest. The only thing that I could see, there's only two things that I could see that there's problems with this. One, whoever, who actually picks these, nominees, that's an issue that I would like to know. And two, because the votes are online, technically, A, anyone can vote, and B, technically anyone can vote as many times as they want to. So if there are kids out there that are obsessed with Justin Bieber winning the Kids' Choice Awards, they would continually vote through all of the other categories and probably just randomly click through them just to get to the Justin Bieber one. And the way it works is that you have to go through all the votes for it to count. Which is good in a way, because if it was just singular, then people would just, again, upvote Justin Bieber or, whoever continually. So I could see it being rigged in that way. As a matter of fact, a lot of the choices seem to be the last choice, don't they? But again, could be. I'm just thinking, honestly, because if that were the case, that would be pretty bad. But we don't know, and that's the thing. You don't know technically the whole thing could be rigged, but probably not. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this. Like I was saying, try not to be too morbid. Try to go into things with, a little bit more open mind. That's what I always try to do. As much as something I think is really going to be stupid, like Fairly Odd Dogs, I still try to go into it with at least a little bit of an open mind and try to point out some good things. So, with that, Pie Guy rules.